Shayabukeshe. There are people, if you got closer to the Lord, the issue would look nothing. The issue will look so small. But because you're in the oh man, I see it. Thank you, Jesus. Because you're in the environment. Because you're in the environment of the issue and you chose to stay there. You chose to stay there. The issue looks massive. Because you haven't gone to the throne of God and got close to God to see how massive he is, the issue looks massive to you. This is why in prayer, you have to be under God's supreme rule so that you see his rule over the issue. It's very tiny. God starts to reveal that he has kept you this long. He's preserved you this long. You ain't going nowhere because of how massive he is, not because of you. He wants you to get closer to him so you just see how big he is. And in his existence, you're like, whoa, this issue ain't nothing to you. Okay? Yes, Amber, we need God's perspective constantly. And the only way to get to God's perspective is to get close. You can only get to God's perspective by being so close to him. If you're not close to him, you're not seeing his vantage point. People are trying to see the vantage point of God with staying very far distant in the issue. You cannot see the vantage point of God in the issue environment. You can only see the vantage of God's point from his perspective close to his throne. This is why your faith is being broken. Come on, y'all. This is why your faith is being broken. You have faith, but you're in the wrong environment. Your faith doesn't flourish in the problem. Your faith only flourishes in the throne of God. Your faith only grows in God's presence. This is why he says, Jesus Christ is the author and finisher of your faith, not the issue. The issue isn't the author and finisher of your faith. The issue doesn't do anything but destroy and break it down. Didn't I just mention earlier, the enemy knows he can't erase the imprint of God's commandment on your heart. The enemy cannot erase it, but he can put you in a situation long enough for it to crack, for it to be broken, for your faith to shatter. This is why the enemy wants to keep you in a territory of his manifestation and his methods. This is why when you start praising God and going into the courts of heaven, and when you go to God and you're praising him and you're worshiping and you're just connecting with God, before you get to the connection, like I talked about a couple of weeks ago, the enemy starts sending distractions here, there, everywhere to you. He starts sending you all these type of distractions because he knows you're leaving my environment now. This issue isn't looking as big as it did to you. This problem I set before you is not as big as it was because you got closer to God and he's bigger than the issue now. Oh no. Remember, we deal with a defeated foe. He's only cunning because he tries to stop you from victory. Because you're guaranteed victory. You're guaranteed victory. It's not an if, and, or but. You're guaranteed it. So all it can do is stop you from reaching it by prolonging it.